up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Blue.
And I'm Digital Soul, and we are the Purple Brothas. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another special edition of the Purple Brothas. We got a very, very special guest here, very talented guitarist, producer, singer, arranger, has a new album coming up, and we want to definitely go ahead and talk about that, Prince, the influence of guitar, and all that good stuff, man. Multi-talented brother right here. Big brother Tate Simms is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, brothers, for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming aboard, man. We're so happy to have you on board today, and thanks for joining us, man. So much. So, brother Tate, man, I know
Yes,
you are. This is going to be a kind of a difficult video interview or discussion to do because you're one of my friends, and know a lot about you, but have to pretend like I don't.
Okay.
So to let the people know a little bit about your background. But first things first, man, we're talking about the new album. You got a new project that's dropping soon, man. Talk about this project.
Yeah, very excited about it. It's an album called Utmost. It's the first album that I produced and released in like over 10 years now. My last album was I did in Germany when I was living there. It was called Feel It. And the new album, Utmost, is like a journey that I'm going through about the last couple of years, and what we went through as a country, as a world, being restricted, and a lot of people took that time as it was a bad thing. It was very dark and very bad for a lot of people still going through it, but I used it as a time for me to delve back into my my roots and my playing and creating. It was a very creative time for me. It was a pretty amazing time for me. So I took all that time and used it, my energy, into creating something that I hadn't done in a very long time. So I did a lot of genres that I don't normally touch on. So this album is like a culmination of like not just rock and funk, but there's ballads in there. And if you only listen to a couple of the songs, you're not going to understand the full meaning of the journey. So if you listen to each and every song, I'm sure there'll be like 2 or 3 that touch you personally, and that will, appeals to a wide range of people. So it's not just 1 or 2 genres. Because I listen to everything. I listen to all types of music. So I wouldn't limit myself writing like that. So, that's the album in a nutshell.
And in conjunction with the album, you got a very, very special event.
Yes,
that we want to talk about. Talk a little bit about that event on the day before Halloween, actually.
Yes, we used to call it Cabbage Night. It's like the night of mischief, which is the perfect night for me because if everybody that knows me knows that Halloween's my favorite holiday. So I wanted to have it around that time, and the album will be in CD form as well for all those old school cats out there. But it's going to be in Pasadena at the Mix on Colorado Boulevard from 6 p.m. and start doors open. And after that, after we do my band comes in, we've got a live show. I got Dig Lewis on bass, Jay Sitar, amazing monster drummer on drums. I got Shanita Easter, background vocalist extraordinaire that a lot of people in LA know. And Chris Parker on one of the LA Maggots is going to be the keyboard player. So it's an all-star cast in the band, and it's very exciting to play the Mix. They just redid the interior, and it's a real cool place to play. It's huge. It's not going to be cramped. Unless we get hundreds of people to come, then it'll be cramped, which I hope happens. But it's a big, huge venue, brand new place. So it's a great venue to have a CD release party at. And like I said, the doors open at 6 and we go on at like 7. And you can stay, after you pay. It's a $15 cover, but after you pay, you can stay all night because after that, there's a Halloween party that's going to be right after we finish playing. So you can come in costume if you like. It's going to be a Halloween jam, and my CDs are going to be readily available, the old ones and the new. And it's going to be one big party. I'm looking forward to it big time.
Very cool. And I know you can get the tickets at the door, but if you want to get the tickets beforehand, where would you go to get the tickets?
Basically, it's just at the door. So it's just, cash in hand, or, you can use a credit card or whatever. So,
cool, man.
Cool, man.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it, man. Helping to see you rock out the night before Halloween to bring in this holiday. That's one of your favorite holidays, indeed.
Yes, it is.
So let's talk about the humble beginnings of Tate Simms, man. First of all, why the guitar? Or did you even start a guitar? Because I know a lot of people start with another instrument first. But was it always guitar? And if so, what age range did that start for you?
Yeah, I was always a fan of vocals, and my dad was in a gospel group. My mom was in a gospel group, and that's how they met. They were both in individual gospel groups, and they had me. I was their first son, and I have a younger brother. So at 8 years old, I wanted to play guitar. I saw these cats on TV, and I was like, well, that's exactly what I knew what I wanted to do when I was 8 years old. So I started taking guitar lessons and took lessons for about a year or two. And then I went and jammed with my teacher, and he saw I had progressed so far so quickly. He was impressed with my playing, and I basically stopped taking lessons that day and just went on to, harmonies and everything was always in my past. It, stems from my father's upbringing. We was always in the church, and I traveled with him. He had a gospel group, the Revelators of Inglewood, New Jersey, and they traveled everywhere. So I was always listening to harmonies, not realizing I was learning the whole time.
Yeah.
So that's why it comes so easily to me.
Yeah.
And, once I started playing guitar, I taught myself how to play the bass and the drums, and I started composing at 16, 17, and playing in clubs illegally. Back then. It didn't matter. So I would sneak into clubs, and we'd be playing, making $35 a gig. And I had money for sneakers. So I was happy. So I was like, well, this is a cool job. And I just never stopped playing. All my other friends went on to different professions, but I just never stopped. I'm too stubborn to quit something I love. And it's luckily taken me around the world a couple of times. So I played with a lot of great artists in the music industry, from Joe Cocker to Christina Aguilera, Mary Wilson, the Supremes, and it goes on and on. But, all of that was just a learning procedure for me to get me to the point I'm at right now.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm always intrigued about musicians like yourself who can self-teach when it comes to different instruments. How do you go about it? When you if you learn to play the bass, is it just certain strings, or do you play it by ear? What is it? Something, did you listen to something on the radio and you try to play it? How do you go about it?
That's a good question. Like I said, I did take lessons at guitar at a real young age, but once I got the gist of it, I basically, like you said, did teach myself more. And playing the guitar, you have playing the guitar, you have 6 strings. I picked up bass. I'm like, oh, this has got to be twice as easy because there's only 4 strings. That's how I looked at it. So I just picked up the bass, and after school, I would play basketball and baseball like other kids. But after dinner, every night, like for 2 or 3 hours, every night, I would sit and just play all the people that I listened to on the radio. I have the records, listen to Funkadelic, listen to the Beatles, Kiss, James Brown. I would play along with the record, note for note. And that's how I learned so well how to play bass and guitar. And I would just practice with the people that I love to listen to. So when I started doing it for a living, it made it easier for me to play with all different types of people because I'd already done it as a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really,
having a good ear helps too.
Yeah, you definitely have a good ear, bro.
Yeah.
Do what you do, man. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to actually play with Tate a couple of times, and I'm a witness to Tate being very, very unique as far as adapting to every genre, rock, reggae, hip hop, funk, whatever it may be. So what I want to know, Tate, man, because I know you say you took lessons, but when I listen to you, I hear some Jimmy Page, I hear some Prince, I hear some Hendrix. I hear a lot of different elements. Who are some of the people that inspired you, or that you listen to, or that you really channel in from, that really navigate towards your playing?
Guitar wise, it was a lot of the Beatles first and foremost.
Okay.
And then later on in the 70s, I loved the way Eddie played, Eddie Van Halen, big hero of mine. Yeah. And then later on, I got more progressive and I started listening to Steve Vai. I never elevated to that level, but it's something I still aspire to because he's such a virtuoso on the guitar. So yeah, those cats were always influential. Jimi Hendrix, of course. Yeah. And a lot of the guitar heroes back in the 80s when heavy metal was big, because they were all such crafts of their instrument. They took it seriously, and that's what I wanted to do. So that's why I play the way I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are good influences, man, because not only what you said, they play so effortlessly, but
right. Exactly.
They instilled so many new tricks, and especially Eddie Van Halen. Like Eddie Van Halen, just not even touching the strings sometimes, and just playing the fretboard by itself, things like that.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome, man. And I know, you know, Prince has a big influence on you as
Oh,
well.
big time. Yeah.
What is one of the earliest memories of Prince's music impacting you?
I heard I bought his first album for you. I don't know how I heard about him, but they were talking about this kid, 16-year-old kid that did an album completely by himself. And that intrigued me because I was already playing 3 instruments in my house alone. So I listened to this cat and I was like, that's very interesting stuff. And I always aspired to do that. Then I followed him throughout his career and he was always doing something different, which I loved.
Yeah.
And he wasn't restricted to what the record company was telling him. Well, you can only put out an album every other year or every 2 years. He was writing constantly.
Yeah.
And that always inspired me. That's why I write the way I do. I'm writing all the time.
Yeah.
But, getting it out is a little, more difficult when you don't have a record company behind you. But I have another album just sitting out in the back ready to go already. So it's not a shortage of music. It's just music is effortless, creating for me. Absolutely. So yeah, Prince is definitely a big influence.
And you just made a recent trek to Paisley Park too, man.
Yeah.
That was the first trip, right?
It was the first time I'd ever been there. I had some stuff to pick up in New York. I flew over and I went to my storage unit and got all my stuff out after a long time. And I said, well, this is a good chance for me to drive across the country. I'd never done it before. It was always a dream, a bucket list of mine. Yeah. And I did it and it was a blast. And I just started driving. We were in Chicago and then I'm looking at the map. I really didn't plan it out completely. I had places I had my head that I wanted to go. But once I got near Minnesota, the car just gravitated towards Minneapolis and I just made my pilgrimage and got to Paisley Park. And once I got there, I didn't realize it was going to be as emotional as it was. And as soon as I set foot in there, I got chills. So it was a great, great trip. It was one of the best I've ever been on. And I've been on a lot of trips. So it was a lot of fun.
Did you get a chance to check out Riley Creek and all that stuff too?
No, I only did the small tour, and it was just it was very inspirational and see where they would tell us stories like he would have parties in his room where they would jam every weekend for the locals in Minneapolis. They would have free concert every weekend. People would just come in. One night he had Madonna with 10 of her dancers and was just them. And he came in and played a full-blown concert for Madonna and 10 other people. That's the kind of stuff he did all the time, just to be playing. Mm-hmm. So anybody that loves music that much, you got to respect. Because I'm the same way. I'll travel 150 miles just to play. Yeah. I'm still like that. I still have that kid in me, which I hope I never lose.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the drive that keeps all musicians going right there, man.
It should. It should. But it doesn't always, which I'm learning every day.
Very true.
If you
Depends on you.
If you have it's when we talk about guitar playing, do you have like a top 5 of your favorite guitar playing heroes?
Yeah, we've already touched on most of them, like Jimi Hendrix, number 1. Eddie Van Halen is number 2. Number 3 would be Steve Vai. It's hard. It's so many out there, it's hard to pin down just 5, but yeah, those would be my top 3.
Okay.
Prince is in there,
of course.
and
I'm imagining Stevie Ray Vaughan probably too, right?
Unfortunately, I really didn't listen to Stevie that much. He was more of a blues guy, and I wasn't really into the blues as much as I should have been. Just like people ask me if I was into, reggae music, like Bob Marley, and I really never listened to Bob Marley that much. So I did once I got older. But growing up, blues was never really on my radar. It was always either heavy metal or funk or rock and roll. It wasn't really blues, or that's why. But later on, big respect to Stevie Ray Vaughan, amazing player.
Yeah, absolutely,
beast.
Yeah, absolutely. Ruby got a question?
Yeah, so since things are like starting to open back up, you have the thing on October 30th, right? Are you plan on, you have your new album is coming out as well.
Right.
Do you plan on doing any, spot dates or tours or what have you?
Yeah, we don't have anything specifically laid down right now. We're talking to a lot of promoters and whatnot like that. But I really want to get into like the college circuit because I remember back in the day, that's how Earth, Wind and Fire really got their start. And it's a way to get in touch with a huge younger audience, a younger demographic, which I really think that they would appreciate my music because it's not like what people are producing today. It sounds well produced, don't get me wrong, but it's not like just pop music. It's got a lot of, like John said, it's got a lot of different influences in it, like rock and funk, and it's like a pop and R&B twist in there as well. So I feel like the college circuit would be a thing I would definitely want to pursue, because they would embrace it as opposed to, you know, not wanting to listen, and spread the word, which is why I'm talking to you guys. I'm trying to get the word out there that there's new music out there besides which is being forced down your throat. So
absolutely, yeah. I think me and John had a conversation, and I think, John, you had a post also when you talked about about this so much. I want to try to paraphrase what you're saying, but is, you know, so much good music is out there by people you don't even know about. So
I was looking at that earlier.
Give somebody a chance and listen to them. Check them out.
Check them out. It's just like you said, bro, when it's like, instead of listening to the things going down your throat constantly and down in your ear, go and spread your wings and listen to these other artists. There's just so much more great music out there that people don't know about.
Exactly. That's true.
And
I'm hoping they get on my train, and they, you know, they'll be exposed to even more. And you know, I'm looking forward to everybody hearing this album, because, like I said, it's a lot of different exciting things. It's like a roller coaster ride. You never know what's going to happen next, but you'll always be pleasantly surprised.
Very cool. Nice. And speaking of not only new artists, but if we were to like go in your car or come over to your pad or check your library or your current CD or MP3, whatever you have, what will we see Tate is listening to or admire right now as far as music that you're playing right now?
You'd be surprised, but basically what I listen to on the radio as far as new music is concerned, or any music at all, is like, I listen to a lot of house music, because they always have the newest, you know, the newest sounds that are coming out. And it's inspirational to me, because I use that as fodder to, you know, produce something else on my own. But I listen to a lot of dance music, house music. And other than that, I listen to classic rock. You know, once in a while I delve back into the heavy metal, and of course, I listen to Prince a lot.
Yeah.
You know, but as far as what's on the radio, not much at all. I usually go to the house station, or they have this radio called Sugar Free Radio on SoundCloud. I listen to it all the time. Okay. It's Ronnie Cycley, and they have a lot of great music on there. So that's one thing I'm happy I found, because that's good driving music too. It's 80 miles an hour, it grooves.
Yeah.
You can bop along to it.
Yeah, keep that drive going.
Exactly. Keep you awake.
Yeah, there you go. Very cool. So if we were to check with you in about, let's say we check back with you in a year, you know, you release the album, you do more gigs. I know that you play with, you know, I know you just played with Slave, you play with so many people. If we check back with you in a year, where do you think will be your next step as far as a musician? Or where in a year, where do you want to be, or what do you want to have accomplished this time next year if we talk to you again?
I would love to be either on tour open. Well, you know, that's already almost in the way. I can't really speak about it yet, but it started happening like right before COVID hit. I was on the verge of being an opening act for a lot of different people touring. So I want to get back, you know, to, you know, see now that things are opening up again. I want to get back to touring on a bigger level, so I can have a bigger audience, and you know, getting back on the road just, you know, a few more times, you know, just to say that I've done it, and leave a legacy that says, you know, he was a cat that really, you know, put his heart and soul into everything he did, and he's you know, done it for the whole planet, not just for a couple of states here and there.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you've done you've actually done quite a few Prince covers too, man, over the course of the years, man. What are your favorite, some of your favorite Prince tunes to cover when you're playing live?
Oh, live, I do Little Red Corvette, of course, Purple Rain. I do Pop Life, which is one of my favorites. And I did, it's on YouTube now. It's got quite a few hits. My memory is like disappearing from me. But I did a cover of the one that was Cat. You know you're gonna rock, Cat. Well, what's the name of that song? Street. Alphabet. Thank you.
Street.
Yeah. I did a great. I did it like note for note, and it took me like almost 2 days to just decipher each note because I did all the instruments myself. I was doing Cat's part and, you know, and did the video for it. It came out really well. I got a lot of great compliments in the comments and everything.
Very
And
cool.
that's always one of my favorites because the groove is so undeniable. I could listen to it. Oh, that's what I have in my car. I listen to Alphabet Street over and over again because it's so funky. And that
Yeah.
guitar strum just gets me every time.
Yeah.
It's just locked in, you know. And everything else going around it and the production was flawless as usual. That, you know, impeccable that he always did. So yeah, those are the few of my favorites. I love those.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, the last time I saw Prince was I had just moved to LA, 2014. I was at the Palladium, and I was walking around downtown. Well, you know, near Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard, and just, you know, looking at getting the vibe of the town. And I heard from somebody that Prince is going to be in town tonight. Little impromptu gig. You know how small the Palladium is, hold like maybe 1,000 people, maybe.
Right.
I got my ticket and it was just general admission. And it was one of the best times. 2014 was the last time I saw him live. 2014, I saw him and they were basically just jamming, playing stuff you'd never heard. And he was jamming so hard. He's like, y'all happy you came tonight, huh? And I was having such a ball. After the show, I was with my friend who was with the band, Shelby J. She was in the band with him.
Yeah.
She's talking, we're talking, she's like, here's my friend, Janelle Monáe. She introduced me to Janelle Monáe. It was a great memory. I was like, this is what LA is going to be like all the time. I thought it was going to be like that every night. I had a ball. It was great. That was the last time I saw Prince live.
The last time. And what was the first time you ever saw him live?
Oh, back in Alphabet Street, the Alphabet Tour. 1989, maybe
88, 89. Okay.
88, 89. Yeah, I saw him in the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Me and my cousin, we took a limousine there and she was a huge Prince fan, you know, even before it was fashionable. And I took her, it was a treat for her birthday. And I took her to the Meadowlands and he came out, and that was when he came out in the turquoise Thunderbird. Okay. He drove a turquoise Thunderbird on stage and he was flawless, jumping around on piano, guitar. And I was like, this guy doesn't make any mistakes. It was just, I was in awe then on. So every time I've seen him like 5 or 6 times. So that was the first time I saw him, and I followed him anytime he was in town, made sure to go check him out. That's why I saw him so often. Yeah. Like him and James Brown. My dad used to take us to see James Brown all the time at the Apollo.
Wow.
Dating myself now, but yeah.
It's all good.
Yep.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the blood.
Yes, yes. So can you let us know what's the name of the album and let the viewers know when it's coming out again and how can they get access to the music?
Absolutely. The name of the band is Tate Simms Utmost. That means the ultimate of what I have to offer. It's a full spectrum of me musically, from everything from funky rock to pop, ballads, and R&B, all intermingled in one album. You can buy it online. It's going to be downloadable in all streams, like, you know, Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you buy music, it's going to be available. Or for, like I said, the old school cats that want to have something I could sign, or, you know, I'll deliver to you via mail. I'll have CDs available to you at the night of the October 30th, the job in the Mix in Pasadena, October 30th at 6 p.m. doors open. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited, and I really appreciate you guys having me today. It's been a ball.
Oh, absolutely. I think the Purple Brothas are going to be in the house that night too.
Oh, great. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to come out, man.
Cool. Great. Great. We'll have a drink together.
Yeah,
celebrate.
Yeah. For sure.
So Tate, on that note, man, if people did want to find you, keep up with you, your tours, your music, and things like that, go ahead and provide your IG handle, Facebook, Twitter, whatever accounts you would like people to go ahead and find you.
Okay, my website is www.tatesims.net. I'm on Facebook. You can find me at Facebook/Tate Simms, I believe. Also on YouTube /Tate Simms, and IG Instagram is /Tate Simms, and that's basically. I have a handle on Twitter, Tate132 at Tate132, and yeah, that's about it. So I hope to see everybody out there in the place in LA. In Pasadena, October 30th at the Mix live. It's going to be off the chain.
Yeah,
very
definitely.
Very cool.
Looking forward to that, sir. Yes,
Me
sir.
too. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're not gonna let you off the hook just yet, man. We got a small game that we do with all of our guests. It's called A Minute Inside the Purple Mind. So we're gonna put your brain to work for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just rattle off the first thing you can think of in a minute. So we'll go ahead and generate a clock here really quickly, and then just answer
About Prince or wait. You give me the rules yet. What am I thinking about?
I'm just gonna rattle off some things in a minute.
Oh, okay. So it's reply and response. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Ready?
Go.
All right. Favorite 80s Prince album?
The one, I don't even remember the name of it. It's 80s Prince album, Purple Rain.
Okay. Favorite, well, we already answered that. Favorite guitarist. Favorite Tate Simms song?
That would have to be right now, I'd have to say Far Away.
Favorite music genre?
Funky rock.
Favorite decade of music?
It's too small. 80s.
80s, okay.
Yes.
Favorite Prince era?
Right after Purple Rain, where he started doing the New Power Generation, that era.
New Power Generation, okay.
Yep.
Your favorite guitar?
Ibanez, RG. Yeah.
How many guitars do you own?
I have 11 guitars and 4 basses.
Favorite Prince solo, guitar solo?
Tom Petty.
The Tom
Petty
Petty
with Tom Petty.
The Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Fame one. Yeah.
Okay. That was perfect. Time's up.
How long was that?
That was a minute. It was a minute.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was exactly a minute.
I wasted time on you lost me asking the name of the album because I knew I was going to lose it. I was like, I can't remember. That was a lie. It's not the Purple Rain one, but I couldn't think of the name of the one where I think it's a New Power Generation. It's like a black album with a red, white, and anyway.
The New Power Generation. What album is that, Rube? We said red and white.
It's like it's got NPG in it in red, white, and blue, I think. And it's hard.
New Power Soul.
That sounds like
that's the one.
Oh, okay.
The one where he's saying, the album where he's got that song, something about sex. Had mad sex in the morning. Mad sex in the afternoon. That's my favorite album.
Okay.
That's what I couldn't think. I couldn't remember the name of it.
Yeah,
that's the one I love.
Had a couple good songs on that record too, with the one
very missed album by a lot of people.
Yes. Yeah.
That's another reason why I love it, because it got under the radar.
Yeah, it did.
Absolutely.
And I mentioned those songs and people don't have never even heard of them.
Yeah.
I used to have Mad Sex on my answering machine in the back of the day. That's how much I love that song.
Very cool. Well, Tate, man, it was a pleasure, my brother, man. We're so glad and honored to have you here and be able to talk about what you're doing and your your influences and things like that, man. So we're very honored, and hopefully you'll come back to come visit us, and hopefully we can talk to you again when we got some new stuff happening as well.
I'd love to, man. Thanks for having me. It was appreciated. I had a blast.
No problem, man. No problem, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it, bro. And we see you on October the 30th.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. We be in Pasadena. You better come,
Awesome.
Digital Soul. I'm calling you out.
Yeah, I've already committed to Tate, so I told him I'm going. So I'm
okay. So I'm going too. I'm committed too.
Awesome. Can't wait to see you guys. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, I'll be there for sure, man.
Purple Brothas.
There you have it. Multi-talented guitarist, producer, arranger, singer. New album coming out called Utmost. And be at the Mix in Pasadena on the 30th, 6 p.m. Get your tickets there at the door. Tickets, you said, were $15, right?
$15, yeah.
That's nothing. That's a meal. That's gas to get there. You can't beat that price for good entertainment.
Thank you.
Be there.
Thanks, brother.
So we thank Tate. We thank all of our Purple family for coming to join us. See you soon. Take it easy. We love you. Peace.
Purple Brothas, baby.